Good morning. Just wanted to talk a little bit. Oh, well, what we're going through. Oh boy. Anyway, I'm not doing too bad. So I got look a little pink. I'll keep looking up, make sure this thing's still recording. But so I had a tumor removed, my colon, in December. They took out my ascending colon. Previously, to go to the hospital, I had what they can only describe as a seizure. So I don't remember from like 11:30 one night till 5:30 the next morning, and then I think 8 days or so in the hospital where I contracted COVID and pneumonia. Yay. That was after 3 vaccinations and a flu shot. Anyway, that was interesting. Screwed up my memory, screwed up my taste, screwed up a lot of stuff, and then I started chemo, and I just had the 4th treatment. Now I'm doing a lot better than some of my friends, John, but he's doing okay, and Laura, she's doing okay, but I've got nothing to piss them out about, considering what they've gone through. They're real warriors. Then there's Dan. Remarkable amount of people I know that we're all going through a similar thing at the same time. I'm not doing well with the steroids they give you. I am a walking bastard. And I'm sure I'm going to wake up some night in the trunk of a car on the other side of the country. And I'm not saying Karen would have anything to do with it. Anyway, so I've got my plantings started, my chestnut trees. Some flowers, I hope that come up. Also, I found I call them my raw snow globes. I started making snow globes, but as usual, I misplace everything. So I put little figurines of stones. I put on amethyst. I got some little pieces of amethyst, and I'm just giving it out to people. I can hardly wait to premiere my Easter thing that I got at the Goodwill store. But I just want to wait till Easter. It's really remarkable because I go there and I buy stuff and I try to fix it, stuff that people sold. It's usually been Christmas stuff because every year I have an annual Christmas village and every year it gets bigger. And every year Karen just looks at it and wonders, how much bigger is this going to get? Really, really, really big eventually. It's going to be huge. So it's 5:25 Sunday morning on the 19th, I think. And I'm getting tired of all the commercials and the news report for the St. Patrick's Day parade. Yeah, I call it the St. Patrick's Day. Oh dear God, look at her. Can't you get me? I'd take a pint and pay on Tuesday. Because now it's good to have the parade there again. They like us again. Well, I don't live there anymore, of course. But nobody lives there anymore. Anyway, they're lined up to go in a bar that used to be the old car stop, if anybody knows that. I think the sidewalk outside still smells of pee. I don't think it's an accident. I think anytime they did the sidewalk, they just had a bunch of guys pee in it or something, just so it would smell familiar. Of course, most all the old places are gone there. The Pug House, the movie theater people, it's condos now. They've just ripped a lot of buildings down. You know what's funny? They ripped a lot of masonry buildings down to put up plywood ranches, I call them. I don't know where they're getting all this lumber. But I don't think I want to live in a condo that's framed by 2 by 3.5s. Okay. And then made to look like it's something else. They're all ugly. They're all like these gray boxes. But what are you going to do? Anyway. Just peeking over the weather report now. I think it's going to be cold today. How many weather people do stations have? When they have a storm of 3 or more inches, they have them all in. It's like 8 people, it seems like. But they have like 3 of them driving around on the highway saying, don't drive on the highway, it's snowing. They have the one standing at the gas stations, right on Route 24 and one in Needham. And standing there going, look, it's snowing. As if none of us have windows. Of course, I have not believed them since 1978. You know, that was the year after my last year of school. And the whole time I was in school, we never had a snow day. Never. It's like, why? The school was around the corner up until, well, you know it. If anybody can suggest anything, once I figure out how to use all this stuff about what they might want me to grow. I got carrots, I got cucumbers, I got squash, I got pumpkin. I probably have beans. I definitely have tomatoes. I have a few different varieties of tomatoes. I like growing the carrots. They come up so messed up looking sometimes. You know, they look anatomical. Counting down to the cruise, where I plan on laying in the bed, looking out the window into the ocean, getting up, eating, then repeat and rinse. Or rinse and repeat? I don't know. I love these cruises. They're amazing. They are amazing. The entertainment is fantastic. I'm hoping for a magic show. I like magic shows. Not those Penn and Teller guys, they're too weird, but just a regular magician. One of my personal heroes was Harry Houdini. I love looking at this. They have film of him being lowered into the Charles, all chained up. Charles River. There's a bunch of film of him doing stuff in Boston, but that one in particular, it just freaks me out, you know. And the whole thing about his mother and the secret word after she passed, and I'm going to tell you something right now that works. There is something else out there. We're just not wise enough to see it. We haven't got the gift yet to see it, but it's right there. Everybody's there. Nobody ever really went away. But I'm just hoping that it warms up. We get 2 decent days, and then we get it's going to be 30 to 35 today. Going to be watching the race from Atlanta today. It's funny. With this global warming, NASCAR, like golf, tries to start off in more warm weather in the season, like Daytona for NASCAR. And they go to California, and they go to Phoenix, and now they're in Georgia. And it's been freezing every race day. Las Vegas was hilarious. People had winter coats on and mittens, you know, and it's usually like 80 degrees, but it was like 35 to 40, I think, and they didn't know how to adjust. But so I can't remember what month it is. I got it written down. We're going to Dover, Delaware, from first NASCAR race other than New Hampshire, and I'll see if Uncle Joe might be there. Maybe he'll start the race. But we're going to the Chiller Theater, as we do twice a year, so Karen can see her celebrities, and I can just talk to them without paying them anything. The ones that don't have anybody come up to them, I go up and I just start talking to them, and I kind of entertain them, and you know. But I want to see if Sarah Karloff is there. She's the daughter of Boris Karloff. And I went there the last time, and I sat with her for a while, and I bought some coffee, which Karloff coffee is really good. If you find it online, buy it. Buy it. Buy it. But what a sweet lady. And she told me the story about how her father, who was living out in L.A., and she was in New York with her children, he called her and said, I've just done, I think, my finest piece of work. Now, it's going to be on Sunday, I think she said, so I want you and the kids to, you know, turn on the telly and watch it. Well, that finest piece of work that he made was How the Grinch Stole Christmas. She says he was so pleased by it. He really believed it was one of his finest pieces of work. And I mean, that's so nice. That's so nice. I just like to sit and talk to some of these people, and maybe someday I'll record them. Maybe I'll ask them if I can just record them for a minute. But a few years ago, we met this really fine gentleman. Maybe I should find him on Facebook, induct him into the Hall of Distinguished Gentlemen. You knew him as a kid. He was called Rodney Allen Rippey. And he did commercials as a kid, I think, for Jack in the Box, maybe? But anyway, he turned out to be such a nice man, and we talked to him for a while, and, it's nice when you see those ones like that. But last time I also talked a lot to this kid that was in the, oh my God, the Mighty Ducks movie. I think he played the goalie. I think his name is Weiss. I really should take notes. But he's been through troubles like some of us have been through, and he's come through. And, he's trying to get back into the business. But a nice guy. The media had to publish all the photographs of him right before he goes into rehab, who looks good when you go into rehab? If you look good going in rehab, you probably not, well, hello, Turbo. You probably don't need rehab, but anyway, he looks good. He's thinking clear. Seems like a nice guy. Wish him well. You want to say hi to the folks, Turbo? Hey, hi. Yeah. He just gave you all a kiss. He's so affectionate. But with me right now, because Karen's still asleep. And when she goes away, I swear to God, the door closes, he jumps up on the couch. He's very insecure. He's very smart too, but he's very insecure. They're on the TV now, final parade tips. Everybody's wearing green shirts or Guinness shirts or drinking that nasty Guinness beer. Oh, God. You know what's funny? You ask somebody over in Ireland what they drink, and they'd say Budweiser. Or, oh my God, I think, what is that? Carlsberg, maybe, I think? Yeah. The lady's being interviewed outside Al's Liquor, which, God, Al's Liquor has been there for like 100 years, hasn't it? Al's Liquor building, actually, here's a note of history, used to be a 2.5-story building, and it had a hall upstairs. And the hall used to show movies before they made movie theaters. They had a projectionist. And at one point in time, that projectionist was my grandfather. And that's when my grandmother met him. But I discovered why there was a lot of these little 1-story buildings on Broadway, like Roseland Guy Clinic used to be. During the Depression, I guess, they couldn't afford the full property tax. And Hub Video. They tore the upper 2 stories down. They just tore them off and made them 1-story buildings so they could afford to keep the building. So, if you remember any of them, I think the Coachman was like that. If you're old enough to remember the Coachman, I don't know what it is now. If it's, but yeah, there was a few others. I think also the Fish Pier building, all these little 1-story buildings, they were all 2 or 3-story, mostly 3-story buildings when they were built, so they tore the tops off of them. There used to be some down there. They're showing the gas station down at A Street. There was a couple buildings down there that were like that, I think, too. But, I don't know. I just think it's funny. South Boston doesn't hate anybody more. Everybody can be in the parade. Yeah. It's funny. They're talking about the bars have to close at 7. And liquor stores have to close at 4. Well, it used to be Sunday, the liquor stores weren't open. And the bars used to be closed during the parade. But it's always the amateur hour anyway. It's always the kids that come in. My father grew up down in, I think it was like, the intersection of C and B Street. Some kid from Weymouth. Oh yeah, it was C and B Street? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we just want to come in and go to the parade. Sneaking in their 6-packs and pissing in my mother's alleyway. That actually did. Some guys tried that one year. And the route goes by my mother's old house. And I said something to one of the guys and he mouthed off at me, but there had to be 30 guys that grew up in the neighborhood were standing behind me at the time. While these idiots from the suburbs were they're trying to open the gate so they could pee in the alleyway. And animals. That was funny. I wonder if they remember that day and realize they left with a future. and not a broken skull. I don't really like ignorant people. Keep it to yourself, you know? Come on. David Bienick has a green tie on. Did anybody see my green vest? My Magic Mike outfit? I know, I'm hilarious. Then I told my mother it was her idea. But she had suggested, like last month or something, do you have a green hat? So I got a green hat. And it's me being me, I got a green vest. I got 2 green ties, a green handkerchief. Funny, I couldn't find a green pair of pants anywhere. I couldn't even find a green pair of pants at Walmart. Couldn't find a green pair of shoes anywhere. But now they have the Orange Man on TV. He says he's getting arrested this week. Why did they waste so much money? So much money. Because he paid a woman to shut her mouth. And he didn't tell anybody about it. If he told everybody about it, I think it would have been against the law. I'm not sure. So he doesn't tell anybody about it, and it's against the law. This country has so many laws that are so screwed up. I watch a lot of the mob videos, and the ex-mobster guys that, alter a government witness and claim they didn't, but they all talk about the RICO Act being unconstitutional. Of course it's unconstitutional. You seriously, you can go down for 10 or 20 years for having a cup of coffee with a guy. I'm not a lawyer, but it makes no sense. You have to prove the 2 associations with RICO. So I guess you have to have a cup of coffee with somebody and maybe go to a movie. And you're going to go to jail for 20 years. Especially if you had an Italian last name. So. Oh, now Vladimir Putin is visiting the annexed Crimea. Do you know how many times this place has been fought over? And do you know what actually is in the Crimea? Really nothing. Really nothing to fight over. The Ukraine is where they grow their own food, so that kind of makes sense, but the English fought a war there. Everybody's fought a war there. Anyway. So what do you think about the banks? Yeah. 1 week that bank closes and the Treasury Secretary says we got nothing to worry about. 4 days later, 2 more banks close. Anytime any of this stuff happens, it's when I'm so happy to have been poor. Or be poor. And yeah, I'm poor. Yes. Yes, I'm going on a cruise. But there's never been anything wrong with being heavily in debt. As there, I don't know. I have to enjoy life. You have to enjoy life. You have to shut off all these idiots, though. Oh my God. Do you remember when the news used to be on for half an hour, like at 6? And not on from 4 to 7:30 with the ABC News in between and all this, and they'll just repeat the same thing over and over and over and over again. But you have to be careful, because then they change one part of the story and you're like, wait a minute. Like I always say, you didn't say that yesterday. Apparently all the people in Palestine, Ohio, are all set now because they're not talking about that. Everybody must be alive in Turkey after the earthquakes. We just had one in Ecuador, and I can guarantee you that most people in the United States don't know where Ecuador is. It's in South America. COVID apparently has all been cured. I'll tell you, I never felt so sick before. When I woke up with that in the hospital, they had 3 things plugged into one arm, pumping something into me. They would come in and just shoot the stuff into me, and oh my God, I tried to stay awake because I thought I was going to die if I fell asleep. My list of medical shit in my life is ridiculous. I don't even have normal stuff. I have things that haven't been reported for 100 years. That with the numerous concussions that I've had. Cat's back. He's back. Look at him. Say hi. Look at him. Say hi, Turtle. Hey, hi. Yesterday he stole my watch off of the table and was whacking it around the living room, playing hockey with it. He's a very good sportsman, a very good goalie. You have these food dishes that we throw at him. He catches them or he deflects them. It's hilarious. He loves playing with them. And then these other rubber things. Something that Karen had. He loves playing with them. You buy him a toy and you don't want a toy, but he wants to play with all this other junk. But no more washes, right? Here he goes. Here he goes. Here he goes. He still can't get over no hair because he loves to eat my head. See? See how smart he is? He'll tap probably. What's he going to do now? Let's see. He's hoping it grows back. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? See, I think he's smart enough to figure out the economic developments of the United States right now. Hide your money in a mattress, right, buddy? Can I kiss? It's your tail hitting straw. Come on. Yeah. All right. Yeah, he's walking away. All right, I'm going to say bye for now. This thing kept recording, which is good.